All right, welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing good wherever you're listening from. Tonight's episode, honestly, this one stayed in my head after I heard it. I'm here with a friend who went hiking on a mountain in Indonesia. Sounds normal, right? Yeah, it wasn't. Thanks for coming on, man. First question, and I always ask this, are you actually okay talking about this now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I still get chills thinking about it, but yeah.
Respect. And don't worry, we're not rushing anything. Start wherever you're comfortable.
All right, so this was supposed to be just the regular trip. 4 of us. No ghost hunting, no stupid dares, just hiking.
Let me guess. Famous last words?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, before the creepy stuff, why that mountain? Was it popular or just random?
Kinda random. Locals hike there, but it's not a tourist mountain. Looking back, that should have been a warning.
Yeah, those are usually the ones that don't like visitors.
That's what I learned the hard way.
All right, let's rewind a bit. Before the mountain, before all the weird stuff, take me back to the preparation. What was the vibe back then?
Honestly, pretty chill. Too chill, actually. We packed at my place the night before. Backpacks all over the floor, gear half organized. Someone was joking, someone was hungry, normal stuff.
Let me guess, someone forgot something important.
Yeah, always. One guy forgot his headlamp, another brought instant coffee, but no stove.
Priorities.
Exactly. The next morning, we went out to buy supplies. Instant noodles, canned food, snacks, cigarettes. We even joked, like, this is survival food, right?
That's always how it starts. Laugh now, regret later.
Yeah. Looking back, that laughter feels wrong.
Did anything feel off at that point, or was everything still normal?
Mostly normal, but there was this weird feeling, like something was already waiting.
You didn't say that out loud, did you?
No. In our culture, you don't say things like that before a hike. It's considered bad luck.
Fair enough.
The drive to the mountain took a few hours. The closer we got, the quieter everyone became. Music got turned off without anyone saying anything.
That's interesting. Like everyone felt it, but no one wanted to be the first to say it.
Exactly. And when we finally reached the base, that's when things really started to feel strange.
Describe that moment. First time you stepped out of the car.
The air felt heavier. Not cold, not hot, just heavy. There were barely any people around. No crowds, no noise, just trees and fog.
That alone would have made me nervous.
Yeah. And then, that's when we met someone.
All right, we're arriving at the mountain now. What happened when you got there?
We stopped the vehicle near the base camp. The engine was turned off, and suddenly everything felt very quiet. Not the normal quiet. It felt heavy, like the air was pressing down on us. We got out of the car, stretched a bit, checked our bags. No one talked much anymore. Then we walked toward the registration post. The building was small, old wood, dim light, and muddy ground around it. A ranger was sitting inside. He looked tired, but very serious. He asked for our IDs and asked how many people were hiking. While writing our names, he started explaining the rules. Don't hike after dark, don't separate from your group, and don't take anything from the mountain. We nodded and said we understood. Then he looked at us and added one more thing. If you hear someone calling you from the forest, ignore it. He didn't smile. He didn't explain. He just said it like it was normal. After that, we signed the logbook. We adjusted our bags, checked our shoes one last time. Standing there, at the foot of the mountain, I already felt like something was watching us. But we still started walking, step by step, entering the trail.
So you started hiking. How long were you on the trail before something felt wrong?
About an hour. At first, everything was fine. The path was clear. We followed the trail, talked a little, rested when we needed. Nothing strange happened at the beginning. But after more than an hour, some of my friends started to feel something was off. The trails suddenly looked different. Marks we saw before were gone. The ground didn't look like a main path anymore. We stopped and looked around. It felt like the trail just disappeared. That's when panic started to creep in. We were afraid we might be lost. Then, from a distance, we saw another group of hikers. They were local Indonesian hikers. We felt relieved immediately. One of them came closer to us. He spoke only a little English, but somehow we understood each other. We asked him about the trail. He smiled and pointed the way, saying the path was normal. He was very kind, very calm. That moment reminded me how caring people in Indonesia are. He even invited us to join their group. We sat together, shared food, drank water, and made coffee. We talked, laughed, and rested for a while. At that time, we had already reached Post 1. Everything felt safe again. At least, that's what we thought.
So after resting at Post 1, what happened next?
Since we came from another country, our Indonesian friends asked us something. They said, "Do you want to continue together?" We thought about it, but we decided to rest longer. We were extremely tired. At that time, it was around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Everything still felt safe. Then the weather started to change. Light rain. At first, it felt normal. Weather changes are common in the mountains. But this time, felt different. The fog started to get thicker, much thicker. That's when we began to feel uneasy. Our Indonesian friends continued their hike with their group. We were left there, just us. We talked and argued for a bit. In the end, we decided to set up a tent, even though we knew it was not allowed. Camping was forbidden between Post 1, 2, and 3. We didn't know the reason, we just knew the rule. The only place allowed to camp was Post 4, but we were too tired to push forward, so we stayed. Looking back now, that decision was a mistake.
So you decided not to stay any longer. What made you change your mind?
As time passed, I started hearing a sound from far away. At first, I didn't understand what it was. It echoed through the fog, very faint, very distant. I only realized what it was after we came down from the mountain. It was the adhan, the call to prayer for Muslims. When we checked the time, it was already 6:30 p.m. That meant darkness was coming fast. We panicked a little. We talked. We argued. Some wanted to stay. Some wanted to move. In the end, we decided to continue hiking. Our only goal was to reach Post 4 as soon as possible. We packed everything quickly and started walking again. At first, the trail felt normal. Everyone was quiet, focused, just trying to keep moving. Then, one of us suddenly stopped. Hiljekersal, let's call him Josh. He grabbed his leg and collapsed. His calf cramped badly. We immediately stopped and helped him. He was in a lot of pain. He couldn't stand properly. We massaged his leg, gave him water, and tried to calm him down. At that moment, we realized something. We had pushed our bodies too hard, and the mountain was starting to respond.
And then, what happened next?
While we were stopping to help Josh, something else started to happen. One of our friends was acting differently. He was standing still, staring across the cliff. At first, we didn't worry. We thought maybe he was just looking at the view. But after a while, it felt strange. He wasn't moving. He wasn't blinking. His lips were moving, like he was whispering to someone. But there was no one there. His eyes stayed locked on the same spot across the cliff. Slowly, he started walking toward the edge. The others were still focused on Josh. I didn't think. I just reacted. I jumped forward and grabbed his hand. My heart was pounding. I shouted his name. Alex. He suddenly snapped out of it. He looked shocked, confused, like he had no idea where he was. He looked around, as if he had just realized how far we had already climbed. From that moment, everything started to fall apart. Everyone became tense. Everyone started thinking about themselves. Josh was still in pain. Alex was trying to understand what just happened. And me? That was the most terrifying moment I had ever experienced in my life.